We had a schools-based bunting project which encouraged students to design a flag that sort of represented their dreams and aspirations for the future, but those schools were from all across the regions that the events were happening in, and all the bunting went to all of the events, so it was kind of like a bit of a even on a local level, like finding out what a school from one region, their vision was for the future alongside another region. And so that all those sort of things happened quite organically. We didn't try and force anything, but at the same time there were those obvious opportunities. It was a bit of a celebration of lifestyle in some ways, but certainly with a community and arts focus. We wanted to draw on as many local artists as possible from the community. We wanted to be able to make art and culture accessible for people in the community, so we wanted to make sure that there were streams of things where people could, consume or watch, and there were also things that people could engage with and produce and make, and then there were different strip play things where people could just play and try. We looked at what would play off each other nicely, and also what might have a bit of a spectrum from real grassroots local community engagement through to professional artists. We tried to walk that line between not just the big end of town and not just grassroots engagement. Yeah, we approached music in a similar way, really. We wanted to make sure that we gave people from the community a chance to actually express themselves, perform, and in some cases perform for a local audience potentially for the first time, which is pretty exciting. And we also wanted to inspire people with established professional musicians who had been around for a long time. We really wanted to make sure that we weren't, flying in arts and culture from other parts of Brisbane. We wanted to source locally. We had a bit of a procurement strategy in place, which included sourcing local where possible. There wasn't the scope to create new work, for instance. There was a little bit of new work created, but it wasn't huge. And there wasn't, the deep community engagement processes that we would have typically applied to this, but there was still scope for that to happen. So what we did was we picked a few projects that enabled that to happen, and then we essentially looked for things that were effectively ready to go. So whether it be from local artists or food providers or whatever, we looked for, somewhat of a track record or something where people were able to say, hey, this is the sort of thing I do and this is what I'd like to contribute to the great get-together. And we made programming and sort of curatorial decisions based on that. It was, an activation of public space approach over a long weekend, we're a period where there was possibly a bit of uncertainty, and this was maybe meant to be a bit of certainty where you could, you knew this was happening, this was going down at the park. And obviously geographically we looked at a bit of a spread across the Brisbane region, so people didn't have to travel too far from where they were to be able to attend this. So it makes sense for the government to want to show the world what the lifestyle is like here, what arts and culture is like here, and what the people of Brisbane get up to.